Good morning, guys. Another beautiful, bright, sunny day today with warm temperatures on the way. It's going to be beautiful. I hope everyone had a wonderful Mother's Day yesterday. Welcome to any new subscribers. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. We'll get down to business here in just a minute. Okay, guys, so once again I went with the 2-part protein, 1 part carb, 1 part fat, and hubby's time slot had been changed a little bit, and he wanted us to have a dinner together for Mother's Day. So we didn't go out and eat. Instead, I went to Walmart and I got barbecue chicken. I call them barbecue chicken chunks, which the majority of people calls them that, even though they're actually boneless barbecue wings. But anyway, I got us that with mashed potatoes and gravy. And, so that was my meal. And when you order it on a lunch plate, they give you a pretty good, decent amount. So it was just the same as a 2-part protein. And then, of course, the mashed potatoes would have been my carb, and the gravy would have been my fat. Anyway, so, that was fine and dandy. But I ended up eating it around 2 hours early. Now, normally, when I would eat early like that instead of on time, I would turn around and get hungry and eat later on. This time I fought it, and I fought it hard. It got pretty hard on me last night, but I fought it, and I didn't eat one thing. And even before I was ready for bed, I'd considered eating a small spoonful of peanut butter, but I thought, no, I'm going to do this. And I thought to myself, I'm going to be throwing my body into complete shock, because today I am going to go back to eat at 2:30. So that is going to open up an even a bigger fasting window than normal. Because normally I run my window about 22.5 hours to 23 hours. My fasting window. So this time it's going to be a very large fasting window. And so therefore I'm throwing my body into shock. But I didn't eat after my meal. I did not. So I was thinking, because I've been averaging losing around 7 ounces a day by eating the 2, 1, and 1. But this time, when I weighed in this morning, I came in at 180.7. Now, in a way, I'm angry about that, but in another way, I'm not, because the fact is, I did weigh 179 yesterday, which means I really did drop off that edge. Now, why my body went back up like that, I have no idea. None. Because, I did make sure not to eat anything. I didn't have any drinks later. I just drank water. So, but the body is so weird. It's crazy. And this is no different from what I have experienced. When I had reached 199, it done this to me. It actually jumped back up to 201. And then it went back down to 200 and hung on 200 for a couple days before it finally went permanently into the 90s. And it done the same thing to me when I reached 189. Jumped back up to 191 and then 190, and it hung around in there for a few days until it was permanently down into the 80s. So, even though I would like for my body not to do that, more than likely this is no exception to the rule. And once again, I'm going to buoy until I permanently get into the 70s. So I'm going to be patient about it. I'm going to stick with the OMAD. I'm going to stick with the 23-hour fast. I'm going to stick with the 2-part protein, 1 part carb, 1 part fat. And I'm going to keep at this because my body has to yield. It has to. It has to use up the resources and the fat that's in there. It's got to. I'm not feeding it extra, and I'm not giving it reason not to burn. I even paced my floors yesterday. So, my body had no reason to do what it did. It did it, but it had no reason to. So, that's all fine and dandy, because I did see 179 yesterday, and that means that's where I'm heading. And I'm going to be fine with that. Yesterday, that shirt that I was wearing was the first time I'd ever worn it. Hubby had gotten it for me back like in 2016, 2017, something like that. Anyway, it still had the tag on it. First time I got to wear it yesterday. The reason why I didn't wear it before was because it was tight on the arms. And yesterday it was loose on the arms, so that says something. Also, I had mentioned about watching on the 700 Club this one woman that had started intermittent fasting, and she had said that when she was overweight that she was having to take thyroid medication. She was taking the levothyroxine, and hers was 135 milligram, and the doctor kept saying that her thyroid was getting worse, getting worse, getting worse. And when she started intermittent fasting, eventually it got to the point her thyroid was okay and she no longer needed thyroid medication. Well, the one thing that I wanted to mention to you was when I had told you this before, I'd said that there was a good chance that my thyroid would get better, and that the doctor had had me start halving my pill on Tuesday and Friday. I'm taking 175s. So the other day was my 6-week follow-up lab to see where it was at, and the nurse got back with me saying that he wanted me to alternate between half and whole. My thyroid is getting better. I've got set up to do another 6-week follow-up. You watch and see. He's going to have to put me on a lower dosage. I believe that by the end of this year, I'll no longer be having to take thyroid medication. And that would be so tremendous, because that would be saving me some money, and I don't like taking medication anyway. So, all is well there. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not going to bark about the gain. I know it's not a fat gain, that's for sure. It is not a fat gain. Praise God. Whatever it was all about, it might have been because I drank a lot of water yesterday. My body doesn't process a lot of water. Other people, they need so much water, but me, I'm not one of those that needs a lot of fluids throughout the day. But I was staying thirsty, you know, probably because while I was walking, I was breathing through my mouth instead of my nose. And that dries out the mouth, so you feel like you need to drink. That's probably what I done, and that could be it because I just, you know, more than likely it was fluid. But other than that, my body had no reason to gain because I didn't overfeed it. So, and, you know, like, I'm liking what I'm seeing in the mirror, so I'm going to turn. I'm going to let you get another profile. I mean, you can see, yeah, I've still got a bit of a stomach, but it's getting smaller. I'm standing tall and straight. There, even straighter. Anyway, I'm loving what I'm seeing. I'm loving what I'm getting. And I've still got a ways to go, but it's going. It's going. It's going. Yins will see me tomorrow with another journey vlog. I love every one of you so very much. Have a wonderful day.